Hello and welcome to another video where this time we'll be looking at the super quick 1 week into open beta launch patch notes that just came out with some very interesting changes and also a roadmap to see what is coming ahead. Stay tuned as we'll go through everything that is coming to Supervive. Alright, first up, we need to talk about what is happening, and the first thing that is happening is ranked. There's been a lot of complaints about matchmaking and also being able to meet full stacks in a game mode where you can potentially queue a solo as well. This is very understandable for new players who feel the frustration of being solo or being a new player and then meeting fully stacked legend teams, which is understandable. I'm on the legend team side and I can understand the frustration. And now they're coming in with a temporary fix to try to solve some of the issues to then work on them later again. One of them will then be restricting party sizes for Master Plus players. Now, I think a lot of people will feel this as a rough change, because especially for the people in Master Plus, which I feel is very fair and understandable. What I do also think is that this will help a lot of the newer players. So this is a change that might hurt the 1% player base on the top, which is understandable. Some people might care and might not care at all. I don't mind it that much, as long as it's a temporary thing to fix an issue that will be solved later. But this will then help 99% of the player base, which I think is a very good idea. So overall, I'm happy with this. They're also resetting rank points. Hopefully this will feel like the progression is a little bit better onto skill and not necessarily grind. I'll let you guys my opinion on stream in the coming days, streaming every day. But then also, bonus is that if you are Legend Plus, if you're the top 100 players on the leaderboard, you will get access to custom games, which I think is massive. Now, some people might feel like this is unfair, like why am I not getting custom game access? I think it's understandable to then again not feel like you're getting included in that. But then you also have to think about, if you're not part of the 1%, then you are allowed to play with your friends. You can play with the squad. And on the other hand, the people that want to play with the squad are getting restricted. So in the meantime, they're getting access to custom games. Now, this is not forever. This is not forever. And also they're saying, like, you might say, okay, why aren't everybody getting access? They don't really have the capacity for it yet. So it will come in the future, but all this is temporary fixes, which I think is bringing it to a great direction overall. Then changes are already in. So like if you're seeing this video, the changes have already come in. Next thing, depth circle. They've got a lot of complaints about the initial depth circle feeling a little bit too small. They hear the feedback and their initial circle radius has been increased by 10%. I wonder how this will feel. I'm also on the side where I felt like it was too small, so I'm curious to test out the changes, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I like this. On to Hunter changes. Ghost, a slight little buff, damage increased by 5%, a fair buff, and then combat slight shift, cooldown reduced from 12.98 to 11.88. Note, the level 2 to 3 change was not in tooltip and not intended, so this is just a buffing level 1 and 2 and leaving 3 the same. This is a good change overall. I don't think this will impact Ghost a lot, but it's a fine little change to boost him a little bit in gameplay. Now, Hudson. A lot of people have been complaining about Hudson. Now, I am on the side where I feel like Hudson is very similar to Shrike, where if you're a beginner to the game, Hudson and Shrike feels extremely frustrating to play against, but the more you play the game, the more you can see the counterplay. Now they're nerfing his range. There's a fair little nerf to his range, and also the shift to hover duration is reduced a little bit. Now you'll still feel the damage from his LMB. His LMB range is then going a little bit down. You can play around, strafing around his LMBs, and he's vulnerable in mobility because he is slowed when he's LMBing. So there are counterplay. Do have an open mind when playing against Hudson, and I don't think he's that strong as people will want it to be. Now, if you're a beginner and people don't know how to juke, it'll feel extremely strong, but the better you get at the game, I feel like the worse Hudson also will become. On to Jhin. Little bit weak, as they say. Got a slight buff to his R&B. I also agree Jhin is a little bit on the weaker side. I think if you're new to the game, you can really utilize the one-shot potentially has. But then again, the higher you get up in level, the weaker he kind of becomes. It's a very slight change that you can feel a little bit, a tiny bit, but won't make too much of change in Jhin in the meta. And then Myth, recommended item change. Doesn't really matter too much. This is just to help players with the recommended build. I think it's a good change. Shiv got a base range increase from 800 to 850 and a power range increase from 925 to 950. This is though a more impactful change, as Shiv is always dealing in the death zone where you need to be in a dangerous position to utilize Shiv's kit. So I think this change will impact some of the higher level play where you're playing on the edge perfectly, so you will be able to feel the range difference. I feel Venom is probably really happy with this. On to equipment. Vampiric Axe. All evolution of Vampiric Axe are underperforming, so this is a category-wide buff. Base Omnivamp increased. This is also good. I've always said that Omnivamp items have been lacking. I do feel like Last Stand has been pretty good overall, so I'll interesting to see how these changes feel. But I agree that the overall changes to Omnivamp does feel a little bit on the weaker side, so a fine buff overall. Swiftblade, self-heal and empowered attack increased, and Rampage, ability power at max stacks reduced. As a lot of people have been. I feel like it's more of a mix actually between Mindblade and Rampage in what you build, so it's a fine thing overall. I feel like Mindblade will probably be more of a important item overall than Rampage. And then some powers. Two-way teleport. You can now use it more. Nice. I think it's a creative tool, a very funny tool. Guys, do more two-way teleport plays. It's a lot of fun. Bungee shot. Philosophically, we feel the same as above. Cool power, you're sleeping on it. I agree. Bungee shot is a really cool power. You can do a lot of cool shit. Test it out. Go into practice tool. Have fun with bungee shot. It is actually a really good power. And then bug fixes. Some good fixes overall. Now, this was the patch note, but this is not everything. This is not everything. Then we go over to roadmap. This is where we get like the real juicy information. First of all, 1 million lifetime players hit on Supervive, which I think is a great milestone. Congrats to the team, and I'm really excited about the future of Supervive. Now we get into the roadmap. This is where we like get the juicy stuff. So we are now in November. We see things that were happening before. You can take a look at that post if you want to look at it. But I am curious about things that are coming. For example, the bottom part there. December, January, March, and April, June. In December, we're getting new storm shifts and powers. That's really exciting. I love new things. Roaming dimensional traveler. I have no idea what this means. I have no idea what this means, but I'm excited for it. Like, I think Supervive has so much creativity, and with these types of changes, I feel like Supervive is cooking something. And also holiday map. Like, if you guys come from League of Legends, how long haven't we League players when we League? We're Quit League now. How long didn't we ask for, can we not get holiday maps? How cool wouldn't that be? We are in open beta. The game isn't even out, and we're getting a holiday map for December. How cool isn't that? I'm really excited for that. Then we get into 2025, more open changes. Experimental game mode. This is going to be really exciting. More game modes. I think this is going to be fun. Map gameplay updates. I'm also just really excited. We saw some teasers in the open beta trailer. I think like changes and things they can do with the map is always very interesting. They can go more into like the Fortnite style of updating the map and making changes, which I think is really interesting. And then also ranked overhaul and rewards. So ranked will get the changes. This I am very excited about. I feel like the ranked system has more potential. But then the most exciting things, we will getting new hunters. 2 new hunters confirmed for between January and March. We don't know the names, we don't know the kit, what they're going to be like, but you know what, I'll be on the ball the moment we get more information about these 2 new hunters. I'm really excited about that. Then over to April and June, hunter model updates. This will be very exciting. Also, they're teasing 3 of the hunters that are getting updates. New hunters again, more new hunters, and then new cosmetics, and then new question mark? I have no idea what this is. I have literally no clue. I'm very excited. And then being able to see the future, being able to see what they're planning, what they're thinking about, I think is really great. Now, one theory that I want to add to this. We don't know when the game is coming out. We don't know when the game is releasing. Now, with this type of a roadmap, I am pretty sure that the game will not release before hunter module updates. I feel like this is type of things, when they say that they're updating these kinds of things, this means that this is something you want as a baseline finished in their own standard before a game comes out. So I don't think the game will come out before April. You know, it could come out between April, June, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's after June, like maybe June, July. So they do the same, like the NDA dropped in July this year, maybe released then a year later will be then in June, July. Potentially, this is just a theory. Just a theory. But then again, I am super excited about it. We also have the information on how we got here, if you guys are curious about that, things that happened earlier. And then, like, I am just really happy to see these kind of changes. Where will the future brings? Like the hunters looks very interesting. I'm excited about ranked skins, new things. I think they're really cooking. I think Supervive is really going in the right direction. I think Theorycraft is really working on something special, and I hope you guys are enjoying it just as much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and then I'll be seeing you guys on the game.